Alright, shalom everybody. My name is Mike. Today I will be doing my refutation speech on the topic of a plastic straw ban would do more good than it would do. A plastic straw ban does more good than it does harm. And my advocate's main claim, he states that the ban of plastic straws would do more harm than it would do good, and that the ban would prohibit restaurants from automatically handing out plastic straws. In his first secondary claim, he states that the ban will cause trouble for elderly disabled citizens who have disabilities such as loss of motor control, and that metal and glass straws pose injury risks, and silicone straws are too expensive. In his secondary claim, he states that the ban of plastic straws would lead to more plastic being disposed. And lastly, he states that the ban of plastic straws would not do much for the condition of our ocean. Before I start my rebuttal, I want to just point out the fact that my advocate did not cite anything, so I kind of had to, do my own research on his side and on my side, and get the correct understanding on what the claim was and how to attack it. So for the main claim, he states that it would prohibit restaurants from automatically handing out plastic straws, and that it would cause troubles for the elderly. But according to BusinessInsider.com, an article written by Hillary Bruett, it tells you that the claim is just from automatically handing out straws. So it's not like you can't go into a restaurant and get a straw. You just have to ask. Now they won't automatically give you a straw anymore. So I don't see how that's troublesome for the elderly. I mean, all you have to do is ask for a straw now. And as far as injury risks go, has anybody seen the video of I think it was a tortoise or a turtle, and it had like the straw enlarged like all the way up his nose? Yeah, the whole point of the plastic straw ban is to clean the ocean. So with that being said, we have to consider the animals as well. And I think that's an injury risk, as well. You know what I'm saying? So, and then on top of that, normally glass and metal straws are rounded off. So, if you were to go down too fast on your straw, it would hit the top of the roof of your mouth, but it wouldn't necessarily cut it, compared to a plastic straw, which is like, it's rigged around the edges. So a plastic straw would probably actually cut you faster than a metal straw or a glass straw. The advocate states that silicone straws are too expensive and that alternatives don't work. So I did a research between Walmart, Target, and Amazon, and I found that the cheapest amount of straws you could pay for and get the cheapest you could pay for a pack of straws is $7.38, getting a 450 count of disposable plastic straws, compared to silicone straws, which are reusable. The cheapest I found was a 6-pack for $4.99. So if you buy 2 of those 6-packs, you'll get 12 reusable straws, which is about $10, compared to 450 disposable straws, which is $7.38. According to the NationalGeographic.com, which is the same it's the same article where you can watch the sea turtle, and the turtle has the straw up his nose. The average American uses about 1.6 straws a day, which equals out to 584 straws a year. So with that 450 count, that's $7. You would actually have to purchase another about 130 more, which will equal out to about $10 as well. So my point is, there's really, it's not that big of a difference in expense-wise, jumping from silicone straws to plastic straws. Okay. In his third claim, he states that the plastic straws would lead to banning plastic straws will lead to more plastic being disposed. He uses Starbucks as an alternative because, as an example, because the alternative to plastic straws that Starbucks has is a plastic lid, which actually contains more plastic than the plastic straw itself. But according to IOL, which is it's a website. There's an article on there by the Washington Post. It explains to you how straws are not recyclable because straws are too small, and the machines that most recycled plants use is like a conveyor belt type of machine where it separates all the plastic, and the straws will actually fall through and damage the machine. So a lot of recycled plants don't even accept straws, whereas the plastic lid is actually big enough to be recycled. So yes, it's using more plastic, but it's plastic that can be recycled, whereas the straw is plastic that's gonna end up in the ocean or in the trash or wherever you know, whatever the case may be. Lastly, my advocate states that the plastic straw ban would not do much for our ocean, and I want to use some numbers that he quoted. He said that by piece, 7% of plastic is, and that's in the ocean is straw. It's straws. He said by weight, straws make up 2,000 tons of plastic. So I don't really understand how that's like. That's a great start. If all you gotta do is remove straws, I mean, it's not like straws are, you know, it's not like somebody's gonna, what's the word? You know, it's not that hard to remove a straw from your life. You know what I'm saying? You could simply just remove the straw. And plus, remember, the ban is not a total ban on straws. It's just from automatically giving you a straw. So you can still go to Target and buy your own plastic straws. Walmart, wherever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? For the disabled person who actually needs that straw, it might just require a little bit more responsibility as far as reusable straws. Now you gotta wash them or whatever. You gotta make sure you keep 2 straws in a car, 2 straws in your purse, so you don't forget them or whatever the case may be. But, you know what I'm saying? The Most High gave us dominion over the earth, not the animals. The animals cannot clean the earth or clean the ocean themselves. So we have to take it upon us to be more responsible. And if all we gotta do is lose a straw, not really lose it, but just not automatically give it out, then I mean, what's wrong with that? So I rest my case.
That was actually a really good refutation speech.
Thank you, sir.
And very much more informative than the ones without any sources.
Thank you.
You have plenty of sources. And I really like how you used shopping websites to compare prices for silicone straws and plastic straws.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, I think you went after some of the assumptions of the advocate's argument pretty effectively, that the current proposed law or the rules that are in place don't ban straws in the first place. That diminishes a lot of the claims that are being presented. People who have difficulty or require the use of a straw for some reason, they're still going to have access to a straw, so nothing is denied there. Then the argument becomes about whether or not alternative straws are effective at either solving the problem or whether they're dangerous. It's still not clear to me why the silicone straw is so much superior, except that it's, I guess, reusable. The reusability of it, I suppose, has some advantage in minimizing the number of plastic straws, but it's not clear to me that a silicone straw doesn't present the same dangers to turtles in the ocean, for instance, or the environment that a plastic straw does. That part was not explained. So it mostly has to be that it's reusable and that results in fewer of the plastic straws being reused. And I think that this is, you went at it from the right direction given the argument that was being presented. I think that if I had been the advocate, I might have also simply made a simple suggestion which is that straws that are disposed of properly don't have these kinds of issues, and it's people disposing of the straws improperly that cause the problem, not the proper destruction of the straws. I mean, it ends up in a landfill. It ends up in a landfill. It gets melted down or whatever, it burned or however they dispose of all of the trash of the world. We're still digging holes and putting stuff in the ground. That seems like it's perfectly safe. There's not any animal or even any environmental danger that's suggested from those kinds of things. It seems to be the stuff that just end up like in the ocean or out in the open, out in the wild, so they say, that creates these problems. I thought you did a good job providing us with information about the sources that you had on the price, for instance. That was pretty straightforward. The straw, I think you did need you did kind of refer to the National Geographic as a source of a lot of the information on background. That was okay also. I'm not sure if that's where that information about recycling came from or not. The argument, and then the last argument about the amount of straws that we have in the ocean, you kind of just put it this way, we're not really sacrificing anything by having these rules, except a moment of convenience, and that moment of convenience can easily be perpetuated for those who really need it, and for those of us who don't need it, grow a pair and do something for the environment. All right, thank you.